Assalamu alaikum listeners. Good evening. It's Yusuf Salih with the color with the continuation of the novel called Abadan. Last time we stopped where Amina said, I could not take my eyes off of him. Next thing I know, he blows some air on my face and I smell his fresh mint breath. He chuckles as I blush harder and look away. The ride was slowly as I could only hear the music coming out of the radio. So listeners, we will continue with the chapter 10 today. As we arrived at the reception, Amina said, the hall was decorated in golden and black. The entrance was well decorated. Muhammad first got out of the car and he opened the door for me to get out. I smiled at him as he smiled back. He helped me get out by holding my hand because my dress was heavy. The bridesmaids were dressed in black gown as they all looked beautiful. MashaAllah. Muhammad held my hand as we approached the hall. We stood at the stage as the bridesmaids were instructed by the MC to stop as we approached our seat. We took our seat as the groom's friends and the bridesmaids danced to their seat. After we were settled, the MC introduced Khalifa to say the opening prayer. Then the programs began. Khalifa gave his speech, same goes to Zainab, then my Ammi and Mama, Mr. Arrogant's mother. Muhammad's best friend, which is Khalifa, was asked to give a brief history of Muhammad. He came on stage as the crowd cheered. He began, Muhammad Usman Maygold is my cousin and childhood best friend. He is my best buddy. Muhammad is nice and a gentleman. I know he will take care of our bride as she is the love of his love, because she is the reason my body lost his concentration at work. Khalifa teased, which made Muhammad blush as I smiled at his reaction. After Khalifa was done with his speech, it is Zainab's turn. She gave a brief history about me as she teased me for the time I was being lazy. Yeah, that's me. The laugh, the fight, I lost my emotion as I saw my bestie crying. I walked to her and hugged her tightly as the crowd cheered through the hall. She patted my back and said, Ya Muhammad, zo ka ɗauki matar nan naka, kar ta sa na ɓata makeup ɗina da na ɓata lokaci ina yi, as the crowd burst into laugh, and I blushed at her compliment. It is time for the couple to perform on stage, the MC request. Muhammad held my hand as I could feel the smoothness of his palm. We went to the stage as the MC played a romantic Indian song titled Tum Hi Ho. He held my hand and he wrapped his other hand around my waist. I felt a strange feeling as I looked at him. He gave me his evil smirk. Ya Allah, he is more handsome, as he pulled me to his chest, holding me tightly to his grip. Oh my God, I feel my cheeks reddish at his sudden reaction. The crowd cheers and the photographers were doing their jobs. We swayed to the rhythm of the music as I could feel his eyes on me. I looked at him and I got lost in his eyes. Those mesmerizing eyes, Ya Allah, I won't mind looking at those emerald eyes all day. We stopped dancing as our eyes were locked at each other, enjoying each other's company as we were brought out of our thoughts by the applause of the guests. I blushed as I could not look at Muhammad's face as I could hear his giggling. The MC requested that I should take a seat as he requests Mama Muhammad to come on stage and show her happiness. She smiled and walked majestically on the stage as the MC played a nice soft music for them. He held mothers as they danced to the sound play on. As everyone could detect the strong bond between the two of them, the guests cheered at their performance as Mama went back to her seat, so as Muhammad. After all the programs, performs, and entertainment, it is time to cut the cake. Mommy helped me to stood up as Muhammad held my hand and we walked to where the cake was. Wow, mashallah, the cake is really big and it is also decorated in white and black icing. We cut the cake and suddenly the MC goes like, bari mu ga yadda amarya za ta ciyar da mijinta tofa Muhammad fa yunwa yake ji. Let's see how she is going to feed him. The MC teased as Muhammad acted as if he's that hungry and faked a yawn as the guests burst into laugh, which made me to blush harder. I cut a small piece of the cake as I tried to feed him, but Muhammad is acting like a 5-year stubborn baby. The crowd burst into laugh as they cheered for the acting. I smiled and finally he gave in as I fed him the cake and the crowd cheered loudly. It is his turn. Muhammad cut the cake as he wrapped his hand around my waist. I was shocked at his reaction, like, what is he doing? The crowd cheered as the MC goes like, oh my God, it is happening, guys. It is happening, as Muhammad placed the cake on his mouth and moved it to mine. I closed my eyes as he placed the cake on my mouth and the crowd applauded. My cheeks were red as tomatoes, like, what? Wow, gaskiya amarya wannan ango naki na son ki sosai. What a romantic groom, the MC teased. The dinner was splendid and amazing as the bridesmaids danced. Khalifa and Nusaiba also performed a romantic dance for the couples. The dinner was finally over. We headed to car as the ride was different because I am going back home with Muhammad this time around. He opened the back seat and I entered as he also got in. The driver started the car and the ride was slow. I felt Muhammad's hands on my mind as I ignored the feeling. He held my hand tightly, which made me to look at him. I saw him smiling as I also smiled at him. After the long quiet ride, we finally arrived at my house. The driver got out of the car to give us some privacy. I looked at him and I said the Safi. He did not say anything, nor he left my hand. I raised my eyebrows at him and showed him he is still holding my hand. He smiled and pulled me toward him that I almost hit his chest. He smiled and whispered, "You look absolutely beautiful, my lady," in a British accent, which totally sent some spark on my spine. I could not muster the courage to say anything as I could not free myself from his hold. He smiled at my reaction and he kissed me on my cheek as I could feel my cheek reddish. I could not look at him, so I quickly ran out of the car, leaving him smiling at my reaction. I went inside the house and I went straight to my room because I am all tired and sleepy. I got into my PGS as I could not stop thinking about the incident that happened earlier in the car. Oh my God, this girl is in love, one of my cousins said as the girl burst into laugh. I picked a pillow and threw it at her as she caught the pillow, laughing. Ami came in as she gave me a hug. I hugged my mama completely and I lost control of my emotions again. She patted my back and consoled me. She kissed my forehead as she blessed me and left the room. Tomorrow is the day I am finally leaving my parents' house to my matrimonial home. I burst into tears as I was leaving my family behind. My mom, dad, sister, why? My friends consoled me as I was dropped into a deep slumber thinking of tomorrow. So listener, we will stop here. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to comment. I really love your comment. I mean it. Thank you.